Hey everyone, I'm working to hit 1,000 subscribers and I need your help to get there. If you enjoy this content, please hit that subscribe button right now.
The music creeps in softly, almost cautiously, as if it knows the words that follow carry weight, because some endings don't announce themselves with explosions, they arrive with a silence so heavy it presses against the chest. At the Rogers Center, that silence still lingers. Not the ordinary hush after a tough loss, but the kind that feels like a door closing somewhere deep inside the building. This is the Blue Jays report, and tonight we are not talking about a single transaction or a single player, but the end of a belief many of us thought would last a lifetime. The end of the Guerrero-Bichette era did not begin with a contract announcement or a social media post. It began on the final out of Game 7 of the 2025 World Series, when the dream slipped through Toronto's fingers and the stadium exhaled in unison. That moment wasn't just the loss of a title. It was a fracture. A subtle one at first, barely visible, but powerful enough to change the future. Jays Nation, what many feared, and what financial logic had already drawn in pencil, has now been written in ink. Bo Bichette no longer wears Toronto blue. The confirmation landed like cold rain. 6 years. $126 million. New York Mets. With that single line, the most iconic partnership of the Blue Jays' modern era was abruptly dissolved. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Bo Bichette, once inseparable, now separated by spreadsheets and ambition. I'm Liam, and this is Jays Nation News, powered by the Blue Jays Report, a channel built from the ground up to offer the perspective you won't find in polished press releases or post-game soundbites. Today's theme is maturity in the face of loss. Before we dive into the numbers, the motives, and the consequences, let me pause here and speak directly to you. We are building something deliberate, thoughtful, and unapologetically analytical. Our first milestone is 4,000 subscribers who want more than surface reactions. If you care about the future of this franchise and you value sober analysis over emotional noise, subscribe now, leave a like, and help shape the community that the Blue Jays Report is becoming. Bo Bichette's departure was not simply a market correction. It was a seismic shift in the architecture of the team. And no one felt that shift more immediately than Vladimir Guerrero Jr., the man carrying the weight of a $500 million contract responded not with drama, but with restraint. 5 words. Our friendship will last forever. That was it. No emojis. No qualifiers. Just a sentence heavy enough to carry 7 years of shared history, from cramped minor league bus rides to the grandest stage baseball can offer. When Guerrero later spoke with Hazel May of Sportsnet, his tone revealed something deeper than disappointment. It revealed understanding. Yes, he admitted the sadness. No one could pretend indifference after so many years sharing a clubhouse, a dugout, a vision. But then came the line that separates stars from cornerstones. He reminded everyone that this is, above all else, a business. Every player has the right, and the obligation, to secure the best future for their family. That wasn't resignation. It was realism. And realism is where this story becomes uncomfortable, because this separation exposes a disparity in how value is perceived inside the front office. Toronto did not hesitate to anchor the franchise to Guerrero for 14 years. That decision was decisive, confident, and aggressive. But when it came to Bichette, the calculation changed. Whether through hesitation or strategic restraint, the Blue Jays chose not to follow the Mets into the stratosphere. New York's offer reportedly touched $42 million annually, a figure that speaks not just to talent, but to market dominance. Toronto blinked. And in that moment, a dream quietly expired. Bo Bichette once spoke openly about wanting to play his entire career alongside Vladimir Guerrero Jr., about lifting a championship trophy in Toronto. That dream did not die slowly. It died on the grass after Game 7. Statistically, the void left behind is enormous. Bichette was rhythm. He was contact. He was inevitability at the plate. He stitched innings together and calmed storms when momentum threatened to swing away. Now, that responsibility shifts to Kazuma Okamoto, a player of immense talent, but one stepping into a thankless role. He is not asked merely to perform. He is asked to replace a feeling. That is a high-risk, high-pressure gamble dressed up as roster evolution. The roster itself is no longer stable. It is mutating. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. now stands alone at the center, a solitary pillar rather than half of a twin column. There will be no shared glances during slumps, no mutual reassurance after strikeouts, no double celebrations when the game turns in their favor. In baseball, as in life, companionship matters, and the loss of it can echo in unexpected ways. The bullpen rests. The off-season pauses. But business never sleeps. Bichette's move to Queens is a brutal reminder that loyalty at the highest level of professional sport often collides head-on with financial reality. Toronto has entered a new phase, whether ready or not. A phase defined by restraint, calculation, and the immense pressure placed on one man's shoulders. Guerrero's sobriety will be tested like never before. He is no longer just the star. He is the face, the foundation, the $500 million embodiment of hope. He must lead without the partner many assumed would always be there. That is not a small adjustment. That is a psychological shift that numbers alone cannot quantify. Was refusing to match the Mets' offer a mistake? Or was it a necessary act of fiscal discipline to protect the organization's long-term health? The answer will not come quickly. It will reveal itself slowly, through wins and losses, through October appearances or October absences. History will decide whether this was foresight or folly. What we do know with absolute certainty is that an image has been archived forever. Two young stars laughing in the dugout, feeding off each other's energy, believing the future was limitless. That image now belongs to memory alone. If you've stayed with me this far, I ask you again to support what we're building here. Like this video if it challenged your perspective. Share it with someone who still thinks roster construction is just about talent. Subscribe to the Blue Jays Report and help us reach our goal of 4,000 thoughtful, engaged subscribers who understand that baseball is as much about decisions as it is about dreams. Toronto's journey forward will not be simple. It may not even be graceful. But it will be fascinating. And we will be here, documenting every trade, every contract, every calculated risk along the way. I'm Liam, and baseball, much like life, demands that we recognize when an era has ended and have the courage to face what comes next.